Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be doing a deck profile. This is going to be the Destiny Hero Plants that I've been playing for a while. I've done a lot of playtesting with it and I've been liking the way it plays out. I think it has some potential. First off, I want to talk about this card over here, Mark of the Rose. So this card, I feel like it has some potential to see some play. So you remove from play one plant type monster from your graveyard and you equip this card to that monster, and during your turn you get the monster, and during your opponent's turn they get the monster. So what I like about this card, it's not like Mind Control. You can still attack with it, you can sync, you can overlay. There's not really any restrictions on what you can do with their monster. It's like Brain Control, almost. The only downside is, again, they can MST because it is an equipped spell card. But I really like this card. I think it allows potential, especially with Level Eater. Sometimes you take like a really high level monster, and then you can like Level Eater, then you can summon Spore, and then from there you can still sync with their monster, and just allows more options. And I really think that this card has some potential just because it allows you to OTK certain decks really easy. For example, like Dark Worlds, their back row isn't too great, so if you can just like take their Grapha and then make a whole bunch of stuff, then you can just finish the game. And I think that is pretty good. So I do like this card. I think it has some potential. I wish I could play 3, but I feel like 3 can be kind of cloggy. So let's get it right into the monsters. So first off, we got Black Level Soldier because he's Black Level Soldier and he is really good. I only play the 2 Valor as far as lights, and also Armory Arm is light, and also Formula is light. And you'll make Formula almost every game in Plants, as you guys know if you guys have played Plants before. So it's not really too hard getting out BLS. And especially with Plants, it is a deck where it takes a while to get set up, but once you get set up for your plays, you'll be good to go. And I'd say Formula just really allows you to make Black Level Soldier a lot easier, just because he is light. But you can't actually reborn Formula Synchro, which is interesting, and you still get the effect Formula, not the draw effect, but when you can Synchro during your opponent's turn. I think that is really key, because any time where you can Black Rose your opponent's field, that just allows you to do so much stuff during your opponent's turn, But next up we have one Caius. I still like the Caius, especially with the next card, Cherry and Mado, because if Cherry and Mado dies, I can just special summon 2 Mado monsters. So usually it's going to be 2 Cherry Mados, unless I draw 2 of them. But yeah, generally I special summon 2 of them. I tribute 1 for Caius, remove something, and then I can go into a level 8 after attacking, because he does have 700 attack for the Cherry Mados. So usually I will get in some extra damage there by attacking with both. I'll deal 3100 damage, and then that way if they decide to warning that they've already taken 31, then they've already taken 5,100 points of damage, essentially. And so I think that is pretty good. Plus Caius, it does ruin some decks. Caius is a little bit slow, that's why I'm only playing 1. But I feel like Caius is just really good against some decks, because 6 Samurais are still a little bit popular. And also with Mystic Tomato being available for me, I really do like Triple Tomato, and I'll get into that later on. But yeah, I really feel like Caius is just pretty good. And then, yeah, Cherry and Mado, also level 2, works really good with Malicious. So if you have like a D-drop Malicious, you can just, you technically still normal summon this, but the only downside to his effect is you can't Synchro Summon using him as material. During the turn, it was special summon, but generally you're going to set it and it's going to die, and then that'll be during your opponent's turn. So keep that in mind as well. That is something you have to remember. Next up, play Dandelion because it's plants. Next up, Dark Armed, because it works really well with the D-Hero engine, and I really like Dark Armed. And then for the Destiny Heroes, we play 2 Defender, 2 Malicious. And again, I like this card because it allows me to make Heroic Champion Excalibur 4,000. Sometimes just getting in that 4,000 damage in early on, you just win. And especially if they attack Destiny Defender with Turgite, they go Turgite Sangan, attack Defender, they take 17 right there. And then if they don't overlay with it, you can just go, let me make Excalibur, let me attack into your Turgite. Now you take 3,000 damage. So you take 3,000, then 17, so that's 4,700 points of damage. Again, just doing really huge damage really fast. That makes, the second Solemn Warning usually a little bit more dead for them, because then they can't activate it. So keep that in mind as well. It's okay to, sync with this. It's not really like a minus, because they usually end up taking a bunch of damage anyways. And a lot of decks can't really get over this too easy. They can't even lance it. Lance's only attack, doesn't affect defense, so that is also good. But keep in mind, he does have that negative effect of your opponent draws a card when he is in face-up defense position during their standby phase. So that is important. Do not leave this card unless your plan is to deck them out. You'll usually want to sync or go for an Exceed with him. Yeah, keep that in mind. Also, he's Dark, and he's still overall pretty good. Then play the double Melee. Melee's pretty good because allows a lot of options. Also, you can Level Eater Malicious. It just allows more options, and I think Malicious is probably one of the best D hero cards, just because, well, Destiny Draw definitely the best as far as like draw power and stuff like that for the D heroes, but Malicious is probably one of the best like effect monsters, I would say. I know Diamond Dude is okay as well, but overall I feel like Malicious is probably one of the key cards that can kind of give you that extra edge, I'd say, to make the D draw like a more of a plus. Next up, we played 2 Valor, because I wanted to play 3, but like Dark Worlds and E-Heroes are so big right now, and you know, it doesn't really do anything against those. Plus, I noticed I can get Formula into the grave really fast anyways, and that's what allows me to get more light targets for the BLS play anyways, so that's why I'm only playing 2, and Valor is just overall pretty good just because it's tuner. Next I play Stratus to search out, you know, a bunch of the D heroes, that's basically your targets. Plus I play Rhoda, so I can search out that. Rhoda can also search out Destiny Hero Defender, so keep that in mind as well. Next up I played Birdman because I played 2 Tour Guide, because you can only play 2 now. But yeah, I like Birdman over like Tour Bus just because Tour Bus is just a really bad draw. Like, it doesn't really do anything. I know you can still special summon from the hand, but that's not really good. That's using 2 cards to go for an Exceed, and the goal is to use 1 card to go for an Exceed. Also, when Tour Guide gets Veilored, you can just bounce Tour Guide back with Birdman, and then just be like, okay, it's cool, you used Valor. Now I still get Tour Guide next turn. And then we play Gorse, because Gorse is awesome. Level Eater, and I really like Level Eater because it really helps out with some of the levels. I don't play the Quasar, because I feel like if you can make Quasar, you can make a good enough field to basically game your opponent anyways, usually. Especially because I'm playing like Mark of the Rose, it just allows me to, you know, finish the game off a little bit faster. I don't really need Quasar. That's how I feel. But yeah, Triple Tomato, because Tomato gets out a lot of stuff. It gets out this. Tomato can also get out Malicious, which is awesome. And get out Cherry and Tomato. I just really like the Mystic Tomatoes, like, because a lot of people are playing Diamond Dude, and I love point for point Diamond Dude and special summoning another like Tomato or anything. I really feel like Tomato is just good for me, just because on top of, you know, playing Cherry and Tomato just allows options. You know, like getting Level Eater in the graveyard early on just helps out so much with like different plays, especially with like Tragodia and stuff like that. It just allows options. Plus, the reason why I'm playing Triple Tomato is because I like to remove with Mark of the Rose. I usually like to remove Tomato. Also, I've been liking to remove Mystic Tomato when I go for Spore. Like, I don't want to remove Spore when I go for my Mark of the Rose. And I've noticed since I'm playing double Mark of the Rose sometimes early on, like I've had to have removed Spore because I just didn't have any options. I know I could Levier it back, so it's not that bad. But I really like Triple Tomato just because it allows you to have plays like I can just go set Tomato, Tomato dies, go for Sangan, sack Sangan for Caius, search out whatever I need to search out for in the time. I just feel like this card is just really good. But mostly, what's funny is you can also get out Destiny Hero Defender because it's just 1500 or less attack. So it does go in attack position though, so make sure that they can't attack you again. Make sure there's only one monster that attacked your Tomato, and then just go to Destiny Hero Defender. Next turn from there, you can summon a Stratos, pop one, and then go for Exceed for Excalibur. It allows you to have options. I feel like Tomato just adds a consistency that I personally like. If you guys want to play double Tomato, that's totally cool. I wanted originally, the reason why there's 3 Tomatoes, honestly, was because I was playing 3 Mark the Rose, but I didn't really like 3. It just felt a little bit cloggy for me. But I do really like Triple Tomato. It works out for me. Maybe you guys might want to try 2 first before you bump it up to 3. But yeah, I personally really like it at 3. Next up, play Sangan because it searches out a lot of stuff in the deck, and then Spore because it's plants, and 2 Tour Guide because it allows you to go for options, and also 2 Tragodia. Tragodia allows you to take the monster with Malicious if it's the same level, and then you just go, oh, let me go for Photon Strike Bouncer now that I have Malicious in the graveyard, and copy the level of Malicious because I just discarded it, and then you can Exceed with their monster, or, you know, your Tragodia plus Mali if you have another Mali in the grave. It just allows you to have options, and I really like options. This is a deck that has lots of options, and Tragodia plus like Level Eater, that allows you to like Level Eater over and over and over. So keep that in mind, that is pretty good as well. Next up, Lure for draw power, and then Dark Hole because it's Dark Hole, and then Triple D drop because it wouldn't be Destiny Hero Plants without it. And then we got Heavy Storm, and then Double Mark of the Rose, which is a card that I've been testing out, and I really like it. And I think this card, again, has some potential because Dark Worlds, once they flip Skill Drain, unless you draw like Mark of the Rose and you can like drop like a BLS and then like Mark of the Rose them, and then summon something else and like just attack them for game sometimes. Darkholds will beat you if they flip up a skill drain or deck devastation virus. Keep that in mind as well. And, you know, since it goes to the graveyard, at least you have something to remove now for Mark of the Rose. So, Mark of the Rose, I feel like, is a pretty decent card. It has some potential. Again, the only downside is if they MSC it. Next up, Mind Control, and it's a pretty good card. 1-for-1, positive average, double duality, and reinforcement of the army. You'll notice there's no traps, just because in order to fit all the D-Hero stuff that I wanted to play, I didn't have enough room for those, and I felt like if someone's going to skill drain me, I pretty much have a little bit of edge, just because I don't play the Space Typhoons because I just personally don't like Space Typhoon. I think it's a good card, but in order to fit all the stuff I wanted to fit in here, and this deck can play really aggressive. There's like so many like plays with it. I mean, there's Dark Arm, there's BLS. You have options with like Spore, then like Mark of the Rose. I feel like you can play so aggressive to where their one back row really doesn't like matter. Like you can like if they have like multiple back row, just keep on summoning more stuff. Like they're gonna eventually run out of back row. That's how this deck kind of plays. But if you want, you can play the Space Typhoon. Personally, I just like to go really hard, and I like to finish off the game really fast, because I think that is the key to this format, is beating your opponent fast. Because anytime where say for example agents, they drop a Christia, you basically lose unless you have Mark of the Rose. That's why I don't like the Space Typhoon. Again, it's just Mark of the Rose allows you to not play the Space Typhoon and still like make good plays and just like finish off your opponent. Because like if you take a Christia from your opponent and then, you know, just like attack with Christia or like drop something, like you can finish them off with Christia. Christia has a pretty good attack. Like if you take the Christia, then you like can somehow get a good field. Because usually when Christia comes out, it's kind of like a few turns have gone by, so you can like you know, attack them. But like if you have some cards in the field, and you know you can take a Christia, you can kind of just finish them off, and then maybe tribute Christia for Caius or something like that. But yeah, I feel like Mark of the Rose again is just it lets you not play the MSC. That's how I feel. Just because it allows you to still kind of make plays, even if you get stopped midway through. And that is a problem that I felt with that Planets had, even when you're playing like the back row. And it's because like if they Hero Blast you or Gemini Spark you or Book of Moon you at the right time, you don't have any more plays. And that's why I like Mark of the Rose. It just allows you to still have those plays. If they like book the monster or they book your tuner, you can still Mark the Rose and still make some plays. That's my opinion on it though. As far as extra deck, we used to play Ancient Fairy Dragon. However, I took Ancient Fairy Dragon out for this card because this card, I've wanted to make it so many times, and there's so many times where I could have made it. And how you make this card, basically, is if you have Tour Guide, you can go Tour Guide and get Levier and get back a banished Birdman if Birdman is banished, because it does get banished quite a bit from his effective special summoning himself. So you can get it back with Levier and then like Mally and then make this card. And then at that point, you basically won, because on the field you'll have a Levier, and then you'll have this card, and then now with this card, his effect is when it's Synchro Summon, you get to take control of the face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest level. If it's high, you get to choose. So at that point, you'll have a lot of damage on the field, and usually your opponent might not have anything at that point because you've stolen their biggest monster, and then you can just win from there. And also, I mean, if you just, you know, have Mally in the grave, and they go for a first turn, like, I don't know, Xian or something like that, and they don't have, like, any background, you feel comfortable, and you can, like, de-draw, and they don't negate, you get Mally in there, and then you go Mally, and then Birdman, take their Xian, and then you win from there most of the time. So, yeah, I think he's pretty good. We play Levier, we play Zen Mains, and then this card's also a card that I feel like is pretty good because, again, Tricody is stealing levels. And then we have Malicious also with Caius, so like if I can Caius someone successfully and it goes off, generally I feel pretty comfortable to make a Bouncer, because usually if they have Solemn Warning, they probably would have summoned your Caius because they want to keep their monster alive. And then you can just remove one from Mally and then overlay for a Bouncer. I think Bouncer has some potential next format, just because there's a lot of cards that, you know, have effects that are pretty decent, I'd say. The only thing I don't like about him, against Darkhold, he doesn't do really anything. He does have good attack. I'm glad he's 27 rather than 26. Wish he was 28 so he can get over Grappa without the field spell, though. But his effect is good, although I wish it was Destroy. It'd be kind of a lot better. So during either player's turn, you can detach, only once though, per turn. When a monster's effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can detach one XYZ material from this card to negate that effect, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage. I like the 1,000 damage. I wish it was negate and destroy. It'd be a little bit better, but, you know, we gotta take what we can get. But, you know, he's a light, so at least he's another light target for BLS. But generally, again, Formula is the light card that goes to the graveyard really fast in this deck, because, you know, you can make Formula pretty easy. Next up, we play Excalibur. That's also... Oh, and these are my rank 4s right here. I play Djinn and I play Excalibur. I like Excalibur because, again, it's just first turn Destiny Hero Defender, and then you just summon Shadows, pop one. So then that way you get, you know, a plus, essentially. Like, you don't go minus when you go for that play. Next up, we play Librarian, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Locomotion Argenics, which we talked about. Gaia Knight, the Force of the Earth. The reason why I play him is sometimes I want a level 6, because the level 6 is like necessary for me to like sync for more stuff. Yeah. Next up, Formula, Black Rose, Armory Arm, and Catastor. It's a little bit difficult to BLS Armory Arm. Like, I haven't pulled it off too easy, but, you know, whenever it's there, I have the options to go for it. So, this has been the deck profile for the Destiny Hero Plants. Again, I recommend you trying out the deck with 2 Tomato, maybe like Mystical Space Typhoon, because, again, I feel like the playstyle for me, it works really well with Mark the Rose. Like, you don't need the MSC, you can just get off your plays anyways. But yeah, that will be the only change I would say if you are just jumping right into this deck, if you want to test it out for yourself. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on this deck, let me know and I'll test it out, because right now I am going to be switching this deck up and I'm going to try out some like junk variant, because I'm pretty much done with this. I've had my fun times with this. I want to play the back row. That is the thing. Like, I want to play plants with the back row. I feel like I just want to test it out, see how that goes, and I'll let you guys know which one I feel is kind of better against the meta. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.